Well, and you said, you know, people are pushing to get back into their homes, and can they take a moment to breathe and let innovation come forward and let ideas come forward? And you have to value that their push is seeking wholeness. You know, they've lost so much, and all they want is to feel whole again and to control their economics again. And so you have to walk in their shoes and value that from them. And what I'm also seeing is that it's bringing a generation out of them in such a community way that I've never seen in Los Angeles. They've created community groups where they have team captains, and they're talking, and conversations are happening over and over. You know, every little group has them. I think there's 99 community groups now active in Altadena. And Valeria can say the same thing about Pacific Palisades, you know, and it's beautiful to see. Los Angeles has gotten such a car culture, and I think we talked about that yesterday, you know, where that's driven our development here. And this moment that these fires created have opened up the people and are bringing that heart back out in Los Angeles. And it's beautiful to see. And to be a part of the innovations and to be a part of talking with people about what vision their community now could be, sharing assets, transportation that they've never had, houses that they've never had, you know, 3D printing their houses. And it's so inspiring, and it's worth the time.
What I find particularly interesting about this whole situation with rebuilding after disaster, for my architectural mind, is bringing that awareness that when you lose your home, you know, I can't think of something more devastating than that, and I sympathize with your pain. But bringing back your awareness, as you were mentioning, back to the community. What I start to notice from rebuilding after disaster and losing your home is that we're not only just losing a home, personal, you know, individual home, but we are in this event today, we're talking about our collective home. And marrying the two of them, marrying the two situations and the urgency of rebuilding our personal home, but also regenerating our collective home. I love the way you as the community here, you're working on two different scales and you're setting the example. And I know it's difficult and I know it's hard, and I know that there are moments when you feel completely hopeless. But remember that you're not alone. I'm here coming all the way from the UK. You have Manari coming from Ecuador. The community is responding, and it's not just the local community, which, you know, is setting the example and is creating that motion, but it's also the global community coming together. So for that, I congratulate you for showing incredible skill of adaptability and resilience.
Give ourselves a hand.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So I'll mention what I love about coming into this room and everything you just said and everything we're talking about community is getting kind of a shot in the arm. The idea is I want to come away empowered, further educated, and have new narratives and new terminology and new angles to be able to go out and do the work that I do. And I gathered that from this community, right? And so it's kind of, I say a shot in the arm, RFK might not like that I use that analogy. How's that for a political reference? But one of the things I need a shot in the arm for, and you know, and I'm a hopeful person. I'm an inspired person. I'm an optimist. I'm a half full guy. Is actually around uncertainty. Show of hands. Who is certain about the future? You know? Oh, we got one. Well, wishy-washy. Okay. All right. We'll talk later. So, but who is even less certain in the last, 5-6 months, right? So uncertainty is something that a lot of people are dealing with, and why I bring that up here is I want to come away with a little more certainty if I can. I want certainty that I have a community behind, that we're here for one another. That always feels great. But what I do know is all down this table there are creative people, innovative people that often look at a white sheet of paper, often look at a black box, often think, I've got this, there used to be a house here. And they have to think with a vision. They have to imagine things that aren't there yet. And they have to be uncertain of what it's actually going to be, but certain that it's going to be good to great. And so I'd love to hear how all of you kind of approach creativity and innovation in the face of a blank sheet, in a lot of cases, or a really steep hill, or something that seems utterly unworkable. Anyone want to join in on that?
I can start. Give me any question, I'll start. Uncertainty for entrepreneurs is like your second life, right? You don't know what's going to happen. So kind of we strive on that. But a little quick story about Azure Print Homes was after the Malibu fires, we said we need to build a construction company that can build faster and less expensive. We had no expertise in 3D printing. I didn't know how to spell 3D printing. And really just step by step, we said it'd be nice, we saw other 3D printing with cement. We said we didn't like cement, we like recycled material. We don't like being on site, being in the factory. So really, very few innovation happens when apple falls on your head and you have all of a sudden great idea. Most of the innovations happen where you just take step by step and have kind of a goal. It doesn't even need to be a very well-defined goal, but just in general, the goal where you want to get there. And so many steps and so many disappointments, because we're on the fourth material we've been printing for 3 years. So every time we come up with something that sounds great, the next day we say, how can we improve this? So I really think it's taken the challenge. I mean, the beauty of LA is this is a land of entrepreneurs and creators and storytellers, and some of the most creative people in the world live here. So in that respect, we're in a good neighborhood. And it really is that. It's really waking up in the morning and saying, no matter how hard yesterday was or, what disappointments were there, to start the day with a positive outlook on life, being open, talking to lots of people. During COVID, it was tough to connect with people. So even events like this are just great for connecting, sharing, picking up ideas, sharing ideas, and pushing forward.
So for me, I am pushing for disrupting the status quo. That's my innovation. There are so many better ways to look at how to build and how to create and how to bond together and how to get past biases that need to come forward. And I see this moment in Los Angeles as that fertile ground to grow those new options, those new patterns, those new stories and new techniques. And I'm excited about it. And, excited about the people that are coming forward en masse to implement these changes. And again, I say it again, it comes from that heart. The innovation, the ideas, and to stand up and bring them forward comes from that heart. And you just have to listen to it. And all of you are listening to it. All of you came out to stand and to share and to lock arms and rebuild. And I'm grateful for all of you.
Let's give it a round of applause. That was beautiful.
Gratitude.
On finding innovation and creativity. One thing that I wanted to add is, when and this is a question that I've been stumbling across many times in this kind of forums, is, are you saying that we should come back to living like indigenous communities, walking barefoot on the grass and diving into the river and going for a nice bath? Wouldn't that be idyllic? However, we have come so far as a species that we cannot deny that, and there are so many great benefits that has come with that. We can expand on healthcare, we can expand our lifespan. We've done so many incredible things as species, and I know there are moments when we think that we can be a bad species. No, we are actually a young species. That's where we're sitting on the lifespan of life on this planet, on our home, on planet Earth. on lifespan of life, we are just here. And what the indigenous communities help us is to tap into the wisdom that is older than our own existence on this planet. Now, back to my comment about, we've come so far into our evolution as a species. We are in this position right now, and you are mentioning about California being this incredible space where creativity meets innovation. Damn right it is. Damn right. You have north of California where you have Silicon Valley, and then you have south of California where you have really good community values, and you have artists coming together. And we were talking yesterday about AR. I mean, what an incredible bunch of people. And marrying these two together, marrying tradition and innovation, creativity and innovation, nature, old traditions and innovation. I mean, I can't find a more fertile ground to rebuild from.
There you go.
So I've learned a lot from the people who spoke today, and Craig, you did a phenomenal job of assembling the folks who you've invited here. And so for me, it starts with the comments from Florena and Minari, and they both emphasize starting with a dream. So if you have something you want to get done and you don't know how to do it, start with that vision. What are you aiming for? Clean Coalition has this concept called APE, aim, plan, execute, and so start with the aim, which to me is the vision, it's the dream. And so that really resonated with me. And then there was comments from Katrina. I really appreciated your comments about the most important learning you've ever had came from within. That it's just like, right? It's in there. You got to let it come out. So, and that kind of wrapped up with the comment from Naomi Stone, who was on your panel, and she said she was comparing men and women when she made this comment, but it really just applies to everybody in my mind. She was saying that women should come with kind of a can-do, can-learn approach, and you'll figure stuff out. And I think that that's true of women and of men. It's true of anybody if you come with that can-do, can-learn attitude. And I think that if you start with the dream, you've got that you can figure it out. You've got that confidence, and you just come with that attitude. You'll figure it out. And I'll just say one last thing that the Clean Coalition that we do is we bring on people who are mission aligned. When we hire new people, we bring on mission aligned people. And I've got a very young lady in the audience here. Esme, raise your hand, please. She's just finished her freshman year at UC Berkeley. She's totally mission aligned with Clean Coalition. And when you bring on smart, motivated, mission aligned people, they bring ideas that you never thought of. They're coming from different places, different age groups, et cetera, and it really enriches the whole organization. So that helps being creative and solving problems.
Love it.